As we all know, some conversations are very difficult to have. Things like, asking your boss for a raise, that's a difficult conversation, but you can navigate those conversations with the help of a professional. And we have one with us, Mr. Lou Diamond. He is the author of Speak Easy, Connect with Every Conversation. He's also a professional speaker and podcaster. Lou, thank you so much for joining us here via I guess we're via Zoom, aren't we?
We're via Zoom, but we're here. And more importantly, I'm excited to be here and connect with your listeners and to talk to you, John.
Well, I am so glad that you're here to help us because we've all had difficult conversations. So if you're cool with this, Lou, I'm going to give you some scenarios, and then you tell me how to navigate. So here we go. First one. Let's say you're going to an event, and you're trying to network, and you want to meet some people. How do you do that? How do you get into that conversation?
So there's lots of different menu items that we put together in Speakeasy, and the way I like to think of it is like we need to add some ingredients. Speakeasy, like an old school kind of, speakeasy that used to go to at night to hear some cool music or maybe get some old-time gin. In today's world, it's about what you need to add into the ingredients of the conversation. So the icebreaker in that networking example, John, it's not what you need to do. It's how you need to be. And those ingredients that you need to add are things like intentionality. I like to say 3 ounces of intentionality, 2 boosts of energy, a little bit of gumption, and some nerve, like a dash of nerve. You garnish that with the most important thing when you do a networking event is to smile. A little bit of a smile. Tell your face that you're happy to be there, and you'll tell others that they want to have a conversation with you.
All right. I like it. Okay, a little bit of the icebreaker. Now let's talk about if you have an issue with someone, a problem, you have to confront them. How do you navigate that conversation?
Yeah, this is always the tough one, right? These are what we'll call the 800-pound gorilla. Those are those uncomfortable conversations that we all have to face, right? So if you think about it, there's a little bit of tension. So I like to think, bring that tension into the meeting, but also a shot of, hey, let's deal with this right now. And remember, we're going to be nervous, but we can step up and figure out just to address it right away. I like to call it put your deal with it right in that particular moment, because the quicker you get to the uncomfortable parts of a conversation, the better you're going to be and really just get to the issues. We don't want any of that tension in the air. We want to relieve it and just get to the meat of the matter to keep moving forward and onward and upward.
Okay, Lou, so in that case, you want to cut to the chase and get to the problem. But here's one I think you got to ease into. So you want to approach your boss, your GM, whoever that may be, and you want to raise. So how do you ease into that conversation? I have a feeling you just don't jump out and say, hey, I want to raise. How does that work?
So you bring up a great point, right? This is always, we call this at the Speakeasy the cash bar, which is that conversation about money. And we always have a little bit of a difficulty trying to address money because it has to do with our value. We're putting a value on ourselves. And you're not wrong, John. That uncomfortable conversation is always challenging. But the most important thing is you have to put forward the value that you have first and keep, the money part behind it. Explain all the things that you bring to the table. Try and address it in a way that will make you understand that it's what you bring to the table that's important to try to explain your worth. It takes a little bit of judgment and some discomfort when you have that, and that's what we have in the ingredients of the cash bar. But make it clear, if you bring your sense of worth forward first, people will understand how more important that is than the price behind it. So lead with your value, and the dollars will come thereafter.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, now, because of COVID, the pandemic, a lot of us have numerous Zoom calls, and they seem to continue. Those can be uncomfortable, sadly. So we're on one right now. How can you navigate a Zoom call with confidence?
The virtual conversation has been such an integral part of our life for the last 2 years. And obviously, when we first started out, we just got used to making sure we were off mute. But once we've gotten used to it and we're actually in the conversation and we're engaging with people, make it clear that to penetrate through this little camera here to the other people, to mimic as close as you can to what an in-person conversation is, you have to elevate your energy a little bit. You actually have to boost it up, maybe even sit up. And a lot of times what I always recommend, even though I'm sitting right now, is to stand. Stand up to get your energy flowing because people want to engage with you in this environment. To make it as close as you can to a real experience, you have to elevate the energy, kind of boost it forward, and don't forget to smile when you're online, and make sure you show your pearly whites when you're on the camera. Don't hide your screen as much. People want to have a conversation with you. We need to see your eyes and make the eye contact you need to.
This is great advice. Okay, here's the next one up here. For those professionals out there who happen to be in the sales department, account executives, people who offer services, okay, how can they get into that conversation and not come off as, being too pushy?
In the Speakeasy, we love to give the currency and exchange it for all the value that we give here at Speakeasy in our conversations. And that currency is help, John. Make it clear, those in the service industry are very focused on extending help to others. But to give the help, you have to give 3 ounces of sincerity, 2 shots of kindness, and 1 large offering of how you can help someone in that particular instance. So if you're in sales and you're trying to work with another organization, focus on how you will help them develop to the next level. Don't be stuck so much into all the great things that you're about and what you can do and how this will be great for you. When you're helping others, you want to lend that helping hand and extend how you're going to make others better and improve their world. That's what great conversationalists will do, great salespeople, by focusing on not what they do, but what they will do to help another.
You really articulate things very well, Lou. For those who maybe, first
Just
of all,
like yourself.
For folks who maybe want your book, or if someone out there owns a company and he wants you to come in and speak to his company about being able to speak effectively, how can they get a hold of you and how can they find your book?
So easiest way to get a hold of me is at thriveloud.com. You can check that out everywhere, and that's also all the social handles that we have. And if you're interested, right now we have pre-orders for Speakeasy. You can get it at Thrive Loud. You could also go to speakeasybook.com and get your pre-order today, and that's the best way to connect with me, and I could figure out how I can help you better have connections through your conversations and how you connect, engage, and win in everything you do.
All right, so give me a grade, Lou. How did we connect? On a scale of 1 to 10, was our conversation pretty smooth here?
I think it was good. Let's put it this way. I would give it a 9 because there's always room for improvement, and it's another opportunity for the two of us to continue to have more conversations, which is what you're trying to do with every conversation you have.
Thank you very much. Well said. Lou Diamond, once again. We appreciate your expertise, sir.
Thank you for having me, John. Truly a pleasure.
Right. Good advice there. All right. Coming up here, Louisville Sports Commission doing positive things in the community, and we're going to talk about some of those.